Hello, everyone. We'll get started in about 4 minutes. Welcome, everyone. I always have to familiarize myself with Microsoft Teams because I typically live in the Zoom world. Oh, good, you see me. Okay, I can't see anyone, and I can't see myself. So as long as you can see me and you're going to be able to see the slides, I think we are in good shape. Okay, perfect. Trying to learn all the tricks. Turn on keypad, enter full screen. All right, I was told there's about 20 people signed up, so I will wait for sure until 4 and maybe a couple minutes after, depending on who is here before we get started. I'd love if you want to introduce yourself. I would love to know who's here. Just in the chat, if you just want to share what role you play in the district, I would love to know who is in the audience. Awesome. Thank you, Emily. 6th grade. Fantastic. And Zach, vision teacher and orientation mobility. Fantastic. Welcome. Social science. Perfect. And 4th grade. Awesome. I am excited to show you Canva. In just a moment, I'll ask everybody kind of where they are on the comfortability and familiarity with Canva scale, so I can see what you might know coming into this conversation today. But I always get excited to show all of the amazing things that Canva can do, so I'm really excited that you're joining in. Awesome. Thank you, Valerie. That is great. I think I am going to go ahead and share my screen in just a second here. Now, sometimes when I'm on Microsoft Teams, I have a hard time seeing my chat box when I'm showing my presentation. And so I'm going to encourage you during my presentation today just to unmute if you have a question and stop me, because I surely don't want to miss any questions that are coming in. That would be amazing. Okay, I'm going to go ahead. Oh, there I see myself now. All of a sudden I popped into the bottom there. Okay. Okay, so I'm hoping that you see the screen that says getting started with Canva Creative Communicator. If you don't, let me know. And I will see what I did wrong. But I'm trusting that you see it there. Wondering if, no. Yeah, I thought maybe if I hovered somewhere that I could see where all the chat and features are so I could bring them in, but I don't see where it is. So we're going to go ahead and get started because it's 4 o'clock and there's all sorts of awesomeness that I want to show and share with you. So if you could share in the chat, I'm going to probably have to move my screen over to my chat box in just a second. Share where you are on this scale from 1 to 5 being you're brand new to Canva and just seeing it for the first time to madly in love with Canva. You use it, you know, maybe daily and you've used it for quite some time. Let me know where you are on that scale from 1 to 5. And yeah, I can't find my chat, so I'm sorry. I don't know where to get it. If you all could just unmute really quick and just tell me what number you're at, because I can't find the chat box.
I'm at 1 or
Okay.
2. Sorry.
Okay, right at the beginning. Perfect.
I'm on number 2.
Awesome. Good. So pretty new to Canva. You're in the right place then. Excited to show you all the things.
To say I'm a 3, but I use it more for my side business than I do for educational purposes. So I'd like to know more about that.
Awesome. Perfect. All right. Well, good. We have the 1, 2, and 3 covered. So that is great. I haven't heard anybody saying they're a frequent user yet. And I was that user too that used it at the beginning outside of education. And I have grown to just absolutely love it for education. So really think that you're going to see a lot of ways that you can bring Canva into the classroom. Just to give you a little bit of my background, I am a Canva learning consultant. Because I love Canva so much, it is really, really easy for me to share that love with others. And so came on board as a Canva learning consultant earlier in this year. But I also am a full-time student engagement and professional development specialist in Medford, Oregon, right over the Siskiyou Mountains. And I support 20 schools in my district. And we brought on Canva in our district as well. And so I've been doing a lot of training within our schools on how to bring Canva into learning across the spectrum. Also, I'm an author of the book Make Learning Magical, published by Dave Burgess Consulting. I love to podcast and I also just love to speak. And after this presentation, if you want to reach out to me, please reach out to me at trichmond@canvalearning.com. I'm going to be sharing this presentation with you, so all of that contact information will be here for you to reach me. And I also spend a lot of time on Twitter, so if you want to reach me there or follow me there, that would be fantastic too. That little picture is of my family. I have 2 grown kids that live in New York City, one in Brooklyn and one in Queens. They moved all the way across the country, but they're living out their dreams, so that makes me super happy as a mom. And my husband is an assistant principal in the same district as I am in Medford. So the goals for today, first of all, I just want to build familiarity. So what is Canva, specifically what is Canva for Education, and how might you use it in the role that you play in the district, and how may your students use it? I also want to help you to develop skills and learn how to design and share awesome things in Canva. And so we're going to be getting you in and having you play a little bit as well. And then we are going to master some flows and understand how to stay organized and make the most of Canva, how you can create Canva workflows with your students. So that is the plan. So welcome and introduction, Canva overview and tour, design practice, some Canva basic and pro tips, and then we will bring it to a close. So your ISTE standard for the month is creative communicator. And this is a perfect ISTE standard for Canva. I think that all of the different standards that I have covered since I've been doing training for your district fit beautifully, but there are so many amazing ways that students can clearly express themselves in a creative way with Canva, and they are able to really show what they know. In ways that make sense and are meaningful to them. And so it's a very, very powerful tool for that. So to show you what Canva is, first of all, whenever I'm introducing tools within my own district or beyond, I'm always looking for digital tools that really allows students to create, to collaborate, to critically think, and to communicate. And Canva allows for all of those things. And we know that those skills are skills that students are going to need now, but also in the futures that they are going to be walking into. And so Canva is a tool that definitely highlights those 4Cs. And we also know that students, as well as adults, learn more effectively when we have visually engaging materials and activities. And so as educators, we are able to provide activities and handouts and materials that really allow for our students to become more visually engaged in what we're sharing. And so not only can students demonstrate what they know in this really creative way, we can also create engaging materials and activities for them. And we also know that teachers need digital tools that are just streamlined and make your life easier, because teaching is hard enough, and we need tools that are going to work within our workflow and actually save us time in the long run. And Canva absolutely is intuitive. It is very just user friendly, but it also mirrors a lot of the other tools that we might use, like Microsoft and Google. And so a lot of the functionality will seem similar to you in other tools that you use. And so I love that as well. And just to kind of give you my background, before I was a student engagement and professional development specialist, I was a teacher for 25 years. I taught culinary art, so I was in the career and technical education program department in our district. And I used Canva when my students were in my classroom. And I have used Canva since 2014. So I started using it for social media, for my social media posts. And then when I realized how amazing this tool was, I started bringing it into my classroom and into learning. But it was really only a year and a half ago, when I was outside of the classroom, that Canva for Education is born. And Canva for Education basically allows all of the premium pro functions of Canva that businesses pay for. It brings it into our districts for free. So there's absolutely no cost associated with it. And it not only has the pro premium features, but it actually has more, because the platform is COPA and FERPA compliant, so it meets all those privacy agreements. There are LMS, learning management system integrations that create a more streamlined workflow. And they're continuously vetting the library to make sure that all of the images are appropriate for students, as well as designing templates that are made for education. And so when we're talking about Canva for Education, it is a visual communications platform that allows students to create, like I said before, demonstrate what they know, and also for us to be able to communicate and create as well as educators. Within the Canva platform, there are really, really powerful and very intuitive creating and editing tools. And so you pretty much can design anything you can possibly dream of in Canva, including graphics and videos. And the tools that you can access are tools that I used to go elsewhere to get, like a QR code creator or a background remover for a photo, or maybe images. All of those things are within the platform. There's no need to go anywhere else. Within the platform, there's also over 60,000 high quality educational templates to customize, and they run the gamut. So we're talking education presentations, video templates, and all different types of design sizes. There are activities across all of the curriculum areas. So thinking math, science, reading, PE, health. There are social emotional learning activities. There are lots of collaborative activities that you can access in Canva, like mind mapping or brainstorming activities. You can create all sorts of different poster designs. You can create different headers for things like your maybe Google form, if you're using that, or other types of platforms you use. Maybe you want to have some design features. You can create your different graphics for those things as well. And then again, in Canva, you are going to be able to collaborate. And so when I was in the classroom, I used to use Google Slides as a way for my students to all collaborate together. And so I would open up a Google slide deck. I would have a slide for every student, and then I would have them create something within, and I'd be able to comment, and I would see everything in real time. You can do all of that within Canva as well. And I'm going to give you an example of that in just a minute. I'm going to create something, and I'm going to have you all come into that creation and be able to collaborate within it. So really, really awesome ways that we can get our students collaborating together. You also are able to organize your content very much like you would be able to in Google or Microsoft, where you are able to create folders, groups, you're able to share the things that you create with others, and provide lots of different access links. So like having a link where students or your peers can comment or edit or view only or create a copy of. All of those options for sharing and organizing are within the Canva platform. There are also assignment workflows and LMS integrations to streamline the process. So I believe you use Schoology, and this Canva platform will integrate with your LMS as well. So I am going to be backing out of the presentation, and I am going to show you from scratch how you are going to be able to create a design and then be able to share it with others. So right now I am in my home page in Canva. And in my homepage, you're going to see right here, you're able to search for content. This is where you're going to be able to either search for your templates or your projects. And you also will see this up here where it says create a design. Both are great ways to start designing in Canva. Oftentimes, I will go up to create a design if I know exactly what I want to create, or if I want to create a custom size or import a file. So if you had a file or a PDF in Microsoft or in Google that you wanted to bring into Canva and just make it better, you can import that file and it will make everything on that file editable. So you do not have to recreate the wheel. If you have a handout or a worksheet or an activity that you've always used and loved, but you want to make it more visually appealing and engaging for students, import it in, and then you will be able to make it more visually appealing. It's pretty awesome. For this particular activity, I'm going to search the templates here. And what I want to look for is I want to look for 4 facts about me, because I want to create an activity where I can get to know all of you, but you could do this if you are wanting to get to know your students. So maybe at the beginning of the school year. So when I click on that, you're going to see that these different templates are coming up. Just as a starting point to think about what would I want to include on that template, and you might find one that you would like to use to begin. So I am going to pick this one right here that says 4 fun facts about me. So once I click on it, it is going to bring me into that design. I want to show you a couple features that are on here though that you might want to highlight. So maybe you see one that you like, but you're not ready to use it yet, but you want to save it for later. You can star it so that you can save it. And then you are also able to preview it. If you didn't want to actually create the design, but you just want to see what it looks like a little closer up, you could click preview this template. So I'm going to go ahead and click on it. And once I click on it, it is bringing me into this design. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually edit this design so you can see some of the design features. And then I am going to share this design with you in edit mode so that you all are able to collaborate and create your own as well. So before I start designing in here, what I want to do is I want to duplicate this page, because in just a few moments, you're going to be in here and all going to be claiming a slide. So up here on the top right, it says duplicate page. I am going to duplicate this. I'll just probably do it. I don't know how many are in the room now, so I will just maybe make 15 copies. So that will be ready to go. So now we have 15 copies of this design, so everybody will be able to claim one. I'm going to go ahead and design this first one so you can see some of the design features. So you're going to notice that everything I click on is editable. So I can change anything that is in this template. If you wanted some things on this template to be editable and some things not for your students, you are able to kind of grab certain things. So maybe you wanted this top part to not be editable. I could grab what I want and then click this lock button, and it's going to lock everything in place. And so students are only going to be able to edit what you want them to edit on that sheet. So that's especially nice for littles when you don't want them to be moving everything around. You want them to have a base template to work in, but you want them to be able to make some design decisions and changes. So let's go ahead and start by changing this part right here, because I want this to say for fun facts about Tisha. We're going to make this plural. Whoops. So all of this is changeable. You will also notice that this part, this text is changeable too. So I'm going to start writing my facts. So I have 2 kids that live in NYC. I also have 2 dogs. I love ice cream. And I will put I love to create. So those are my facts. So now what I want to do is I want to bring in some images to be able to illustrate those facts about me. So over on the left-hand side here, you're going to see these little icons. These are your design tools. The first one is your templates. And so because I had selected a fun fact about me template, all of my templates here are going to be in that theme. And so if you decided once you got in here that actually, I don't really love this template, I want to choose this one instead, then if you click on that template, it is going to replace what you have with a new template. So that is where your templates live once you are within a design. The second one down is where all of your photos and graphics and audio and videos live. So when I click on here, let's say I want to look for different images for New York City. When I type that in the search bar, I am on all right now. So it's going to show me all of the photos, graphics, videos, and audios that live within Canva that have to do with New York City. If I wanted to isolate that and maybe I only wanted to look at graphics, then I can isolate that and only look at graphics. You can see too, it's also kind of noticing the theme of what I am looking for. And so I could even isolate that further, and maybe I just want to look at Statue of Liberty. So let's say I am going to choose this image right here. As soon as I click on it, it brings it into my design and allows me to change the size. If I maybe did not like this color green and I wanted to change that color green, let's just say to a lighter color, I could change that. So a lot of the graphics that you select will allow you to change the colors within it. This one is only allowing me to change one of the colors, but oftentimes it will allow you to change other colors as well. And please, at any time, stop me if you have a question. I want to make sure I'm getting all of your questions answered, and I can't see the chat. I also want to look for dogs. And so what I'm going to do here is I want to look at photos. So I'm going to go ahead and click on photos. And I really like, let's say, these 2 dogs right here, but I don't necessarily want the background. What I can do once I click on it, and you can see my photo is highlighted, I'm going to go up here to edit image, and I'm going to click on BG remover. And what that's going to do is it's going to remove the background from this photo and just give me the dogs. And so this is, again, one of those tools that I used to go elsewhere for that now is just built right into Canva. So once I do that, I'm able to adjust my size, and then I can bring that right over to the left-hand side. You're also going to notice that there are all of these other filters and tools as well to really get creative with your photographs. And so this is like a built-in photo editor within the Canva platform. I also am able to look for videos. So I'm going to look at ice cream here and see what they have for ice cream. So here is, let's see, we'll choose, oh my goodness, these dogs are hilarious. I am going, we'll go ahead and pick these dogs, but I want to show you something that you can do with video. So I'm just going to kind of pull this down a little bit to the bottom, and then I'm going to go up to elements and I'm going to write the word frame in. When I type the word frame in, I am going to get these frames that my photos and videos can fit into to have them in a certain shape. So let's say that I want to choose this one here. I am going to move it so that it's over to the side of my design. And then I am going to drag, I think this will go in. Yeah, there it goes. So it's probably not the best example, maybe kind of, but I can put that video right in that little shape so that I don't have to have a rectangle or a square video. I can have it fit into a specific shape. So frames are awesome. I use them a lot, and they will only work with photos and videos. A graphic will not drop into the frame. So, and then audio, if you wanted to apply audio to this graphic, you could also put in the word, we'll just see what if anything comes up for New York. So it will isolate your search to things that might have to do with New York. And I can find one. We'll just click on this one. And then it will apply the sound of the streets of New York. It'll apply that to your design. So also, so I showed you templates, I showed you elements. You can also bring in uploads. So if I wanted to bring in a picture of my own dog, I could upload that from my camera or from my computer, and then I could bring in my own photos as well. I can also do that with videos or audio if you have an audio file you want to bring in. Also from this frame, you can record yourself. So if I wanted to record myself just camera, it will record just me. I can record camera and screen, or I can do a screencast. So it's going to give me all of those options. If you just want to record audio, I will share with you how to do that in just a moment. You're going to go up to the share menu to record only your audio and not your camera. Text is pretty self-explanatory. You're going to be able to put in just normal text blocks in small, medium, or large. And then if you found a style you really liked, you could click on that as well. And you would be able to edit whatever style it is that you chose. You'll notice that when you click on any of these different text blocks within my design, I have some options up here to customize those fonts. So I can change effects. So maybe I want like a curve. I can add a curve, whoops, and I can change the degree of curvature that I have. I can add in different types of styles here. So you have a lot of options about how your text looks. And you also are able to animate. So if you were doing like a presentation and you wanted to animate the text or animate any of your photos or images, you are able to do that as well. Also, as far as layering goes, if you click on these three little dots, you are going to be able to change the position of something. So if I wanted, let's say, this Statue of Liberty to go backwards behind this bubble, I would be able to do that as well. Any questions about any of those design features? Okay, I'm going to show you two more tools, and then I'm going to go ahead and share this so that you are able to jump in and play a little bit. Style is going to allow you to change the color palette of your design. So it is going to give you some of my recently used ones. It's going to give me a variety of color palettes to choose from. And as soon as I click on it, it is going to change the color palette and it will allow me to shuffle. So if I keep clicking it, it's going to keep changing it to different combinations of colors within that palette. If I click down here on some of these below, it is going to allow me to change not only the colors, but the fonts. So this is really great when you kind of have an idea of the colors you want to use, but you really just don't know what exact tones or hues to choose that are really going to complement each other. You can look through and kind of get an idea of the color scheme you're looking for, and then just keep shuffling and you'll get the color combinations you want. If I wanted to apply this to all of my designs within a deck, I can click apply to pages and it's going to change that color scheme for all of them. All right, we are going to go ahead and jump into the share. Last one here, background, simply does that. It changes the background of your design. So if you click on this, you would be able to change it there. So when I go up to share on the top right, I have lots and lots of sharing options. I am able to change this to anyone with a link, and then I can change it to watch, comment, or edit. If there was not any animations in this, it would just say to view, but because I added some animations that with that video, it's going to say to watch. But I want you all to have edit access, so I'm going to click can edit, and I am going to copy the link. I also want to show you while I'm here that there are also download options. So if you want to actually download your images so that you can print them or maybe bring them into another platform, if you click download, it is going to allow you to download this design in JPEG and PNG for graphics, PDF or print if you have hyperlinks that are going to lead to different, websites, SVG if you're doing 3D printing or any vector graphics, and then MP4 if you have sound or a longer video, and then a GIF if you have maybe a little animation, but you don't have any sound. So lots of options for sharing there. And you can decide if you want all of the pages or just a few of them. And then when you go down here to more, you're going to see that there's lots of other options too. You can share a template link so everybody gets a copy. You're going to be able to present and record, and that's where you're going to be able to record not only your camera and like a picture within a picture if you want to record your presentation and have your face in that presentation as you're recording, or just the audio. You can create a QR code for your design, and then even sharing directly to social media, sharing to Microsoft OneDrive, Microsoft PowerPoint, Google Drive, Microsoft Teams, etc. So lots and lots of sharing options. Really, I think the possibilities are endless as far as sharing within Canva. It's pretty amazing. So I am going to now, I think I'm going to need to stop sharing so I can share this link with you. And I'm going to drop it into the chat. And this will be a good test to see if you all are able to get into the platform. And it looks like I'm still sharing my screen, aren't I? Okay. So we'll see. I can see that people are splashing in. If you look at the top of my screen here, I see that there are 2 people in. If you're having issues, go ahead and unmute if you would like. There's a couple more. And once you are in, what I would like you to do is I would like you to just find one of the designs and change put your name where it says about, so that we know that somebody has already claimed that slide. So it looks like Janine has taken 2. And what I am going to do, and I love doing this when I'm working with students, is down here on the bottom, I'm going to click on grid view. And that is going to be able to allow me to see kind of what everybody's doing in one grid view, kind of like if you're ever using Google Slides for collaborative work, kind of the same thing when you use grid view in a Google slide deck. So I can see right now that there's a couple people that are in, looks like Amato and Vanessa are on that first page. So one of you might want to jump to another one so you're not both working, overlapping each other. So you can kind of see if there's another initial in your slide, you might want to jump to another one. Now, some tips that I will share with you if you are working, especially with younger grades, I would recommend either numbering students off so they know what number slide they're going to work on, or for littles, I might actually put their name on the slide. So then they would go to the slide that has their name on it. So for the sake of this group and me not knowing you all, I am just having you, and as being adults, I'm just having you go ahead and randomly pick. But I would definitely scaffold that differently based on the grade of student that I was teaching. So it looks like we have quite a few that have found a slide. You go ahead. I would love you to just start designing. So go ahead and add your name to the 4 fun facts about text box, and then start adding in 4 facts about you. And yes, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. My Canva is saying forbidden from accessing.
Okay. Is there anybody in this call that works with the tech integration or support?
I changed my name this year, so I'm wondering if it's because I got the whole new email and stuff.
It might be. Has everybody else been able to get in okay?
Yeah. Did you go through the MCS app? Oh, you just went through the direct link. I mean, only thing I could think of is that you're logged into your Google Chrome. You're logged into a personal account instead of your MCS account.
No, I have no personal accounts on the computer.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, I tried through the app portal, and then I tried the direct link, but it's not letting me, and I'm wondering if it's just because this is a like 2-3 month old email.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that could be.
It might be. I'm sorry that you can't get in. Yeah, I would talk to somebody, whoever is it Matt maybe is the person to talk to if you're having issues.
I think I'm going to email help desk right now to check on that.
Yeah, that might be a good idea. It's hard because every district that I work with does things slightly differently. And so there's not like a straight answer. It's how that district rosters you all in kind of is, there's different ways to troubleshoot. So I don't want to steer you the wrong way.
I have a quick question.
Sure.
How did you change? There was like multiple colors all together. I can't remember where that was. Like the theme of it, I think.
Yes.
Like I see where you can change the background color, but not.
Okay, that's a really good question. So if it's not showing up here on your side options, it is going to be down under your more menu. So the very first time you use Canva, you're going to have, it's going to show templates, elements, uploads, text, and maybe background. But a lot of these other features that you see here are hidden in the more menu at the very bottom. And when you click that more menu, you should see styles. And
Yes.
Once you use something once, it will pop into your side navigation.
Okay.
For you to access. But that is where you can find that is under the more menu, and then click styles.
Thank you.
You're welcome. One thing that is really neat is that, it's interesting there's so many of these. Maybe I accidentally duplicated them. Over here on the right-hand side of each of these designs, there's a little comment box. And so I can put, I love the colors you used for this design. And then I can even give you a little sticker and click comment. And then you will see that you will be able to reply to that. I can also edit the comment if maybe I had a typo or wanted to revise it, and I can delete the thread altogether. And so that's a really great feature for when your students are working collaboratively within something, just like you're doing now. I'm able to give that feedback to students as they are designing.
I think that I accidentally duplicated that many. I was trying to make
Oh,
my
okay.
own.
No, that's fine. I thought maybe it was something that I did. That's totally fine.
I have a quick question. Like on some of the little graphics that are already on the template, if I select it, how do I change the color to that? I keep hitting the background one. I know I'm hitting the wrong one. So
What number are you on?
I'm on number 15.
Okay, so what would you like to change?
So for example, like how it's got the little yellow dots, like can I change the color of that, for example?
Yes. So
Okay.
once you click on it, so see how I have it highlighted now with the box around it?
Hold on, someone made mine jump or something. Okay, there we go. Okay.
So now see how now I have that yellow that I can change up top?
Yeah.
You have to be clicked on whatever it is you want to edit, and then those editing features are going to show up on the top bar.
Ah, the top bar. Okay, I do a lot of this from my phone.
Yes.
So it looks totally different. So
It
okay.
does look a little different on the phone.
I
Yes.
knew it was going to be something simple I was missing. Okay.
No, I love when people ask questions because then it reminds me of things that I haven't mentioned that I want to. So anything that you click on, it is going to open up the editable features for that up on that top toolbar. And you'll notice that the toolbar is very similar to other things like Google Docs or Microsoft Word, a lot of carryover there, but that's where you're going to be able to make those changes. So you're going to notice right now when I'm clicked on About Valerie, I have these text editing tools, but as soon as I click on a design, those tools on the top change for element editing tools. I'm going to give just about 3 to 4 more minutes to play because I want you just to be able to play and be able to ask questions as you're trying things. I would definitely try to see if you can find some elements, bring those in. Maybe you could play around with different effects with your text if you would like to. Maybe even try to bring in a photo and see if you can remove the background from that photo. Love it. It's nice too because if I realized, oh, I don't have enough for everybody, I can go down here to the bottom and I just can add more pages or I can duplicate pages. If I click on the 3 little dots when I hover over a design, it's going to allow me to add a page, duplicate a page, delete a page, or add notes to a page. And you'll find that a lot of times when you hover over things, when those 3 little dots appear, those are all of your kind of hidden extra features are. So pay attention to those 3 little dots because they usually reveal some extra cool things you can do. I love it. Give you about another minute and then we will jump back into the presentation. I see there's some people trying the background remover. I love it, experimenting with different backgrounds. That is really cool. Janine, I love the background that you chose. Christina Aguilar, I love it. Playing with different types of font styles. Very, very cool. As you are all finishing up, before I hop back into the presentation, I want to show you a couple of my favorite features down here in the More menu. When I click down here, again, you're going to find lots of extra little things that you can use. One of the ones that I think is really handy is this QR code creator. When I click on QR code, I can take a link to anything that I want to create a QR code for, paste it in, click generate code, and that QR code is going to pop right into my design. So really handy if you're creating maybe an activity where you want your students to link to a specific site or a follow-up activity. Great for posters that you post in your room or at an event where it will lead people to a certain thing. Another one of my favorites, this is great for elementary especially, is this character creator. It will allow you to create lots of different characters. You're going to be able to change facial expressions. So when you think about digital storytelling, your students can create different characters that look like them to be able to tell a story. So I love that feature as well. Another favorite is this draw feature that's still in beta, but it will actually allow you to draw directly onto your designs. So if you have or your students have a touch screen, they're going to be able to draw with a stylus or their finger right on their screen. And once they draw, they can move those drawings around, make them bigger or smaller, edit them. So when you think about you as a teacher, maybe creating an activity for students, and maybe you want them to annotate or to draw on that activity, they will be able to do that. So another really cool thing. And then I always like to show this for math and science teachers especially. You can create charts. And so if you wanted your students to be able to display data in a specific type of chart, they are going to be able to insert their data in the graph, and then that chart is going to reflect that data. And they are also able to connect to Google Sheets if they wanted to, and take maybe data that they had in a spreadsheet, and it will automatically import into the chart to be able to display that data. So love that tool as well. Within Elements, you can also find tables. So if you wanted to create a table to be able to kind of line up data that you are wanting to share. You will also be able to, once you create your table, add extra columns or maybe size things, equally. All of those features that you might see in Microsoft Word or Google Docs are going to be available within your table. Any questions about that? Lots of hidden gems. It just takes exploring. And the more you just start looking for things under the More menu and playing, you're going to find all sorts of great tools that Canva has to offer. This presentation that I created for you that I was going through today and will continue to go through is all created in Canva. And I chose education presentation for it. And I am presenting straight from Canva as well. So I'm going to go ahead and jump to the next slide that we left off on. And then when you see up here on the top, when I click present, that is how I'm presenting this. I'm clicking present. I could choose autoplay, presenter view, or present and record if I wanted to, but I'm going to click standard. And then it's going to bounce it into a presentation. So, and I'm trusting you all can see my presentation, correct? Please tell me if you're not seeing my slides right now. So when you're on your home page, I want to make sure that you understand that if you use Canva maybe outside of the district, you would have not had this district name down here on the left-hand side. That district is where you're going to be basically working in your district team, but everything is going to be private by default and will only be, the things that you design will only be shareable if you share them with people. So you'll be able to share designs or folders with other people within your district, but by default, it's going to be private until you choose to do so. When you look at this list, there are lots and lots of things that you can create in Canva. And so anything from infographics to album covers to TikTok video frames to Instagram posts, book covers, comic strips, logo designs, resumes. So thinking about whatever content you teach, if you think about something that you would either want your students to create to demonstrate their learning or something that you would want to create to assist in their learning, like an activity, a handout, a worksheet, all of that can be created within the Canva platform. And so I like showing this slide because oftentimes you'll see something in this list that you would not have thought of having be created. And there's more than this too. These are just some of the things that you can create. Even thinking about a seating chart, t-shirt design, magazine cover. There's just lots and lots of things. And the neat thing is that there's all templates associated with these things too. So you don't have to start from scratch. When I think about presentations, not only can you as a teacher create presentations, but students can create presentations to retell a story, summarize an event, conduct an interview, mock ads, science experiments, how to solve a math problem. So thinking about them sharing their learning in that way. Thinking about having your students show what they know in the form of an infographic. So maybe they're reading a book and you have them create an infographic based on a book character or a historical figure that they're learning about in social science, or maybe just sharing one of their favorite things and how to do something that they love. Lots and lots of possibilities for students to be able to show their knowledge in an infographic. Posters that you can either create to post in your classroom, or students can maybe create for an event that you're doing, maybe a class or a school play or a performance. All of those can be created in here as well. If you are creating newsletters for maybe you have a role in your district where you are creating newsletters for families or maybe a group of people, maybe the parents in your student's classroom, you can find templates within Canva that you can edit and be able to share out your communication that way. Finding ways for students to demonstrate their learning that's fun and different. So thinking about having your students create comic strips or storyboards or digital books or magazines. Just more fun for kids to be able to demonstrate their learning in just a different way. And a lot of those templates, there's just so many templates to choose from. They don't have to create those from scratch. Zoom backgrounds, classroom headers can all be created in here. Collaborative activities, much like what we just did together, can be done in Canva, and there's just numerous opportunities for that collaboration. Lots of different brainstorming and mapping templates that are already there and accessible to use. Videos are another thing that people don't even realize Canva has the capability of doing. So when you search for templates and you type in the word video, it is going to give you video templates in all different formats. So like an Instagram reel design template, actual like a YouTube dimension template, TikTok. I mean, lots and lots of different formats that are going to fit different platforms. So thinking about having your students show what they know. I mean, our students love TikTok, so it doesn't mean they have to post it to TikTok, but maybe they would have fun showing what they know in a TikTok design. They are going to be able to, once they create that video, bring in either videos and audio from the library, but also upload their own videos and audio. They'll be able to edit that audio, add transitions to their slides, layer their tracks, and then also be able to like fade in and fade out. So they've really added a lot of features with, especially within the last couple months, to really make that video creation process really streamlined and easy for every user to be able to access. Worksheets. I always say, like, especially if you're just starting out with Canva, find a worksheet that you have used or an activity and upload it into Canva and just make it better. That's a great starting point to start really realizing the capability of Canva. And you could even create your lesson plan outlines here and just be able to keep duplicating your lesson plan pages and be able to keep those in a Canva folder and be able to create them in there's a lot of really cute template designs that you can choose from. So when you are getting started, you saw me get started. I went to that home page and I just typed in 4 fun facts about me and I found a template that I liked. The other way I also showed you was going up to create a design and finding a design type that you like there. So both options are available, and you can also put in your own custom design. So if you know that there's a certain dimension you need for a certain platform, like maybe a Schmore newsletter, you can create that custom size and it will make a design exactly the size that you need. And then you also can type in your search on the top of your homepage and you can find templates there too. So lots of ways that you can find the designs that you're looking for. In your homepage, under your district team, you're going to see groups. And so that is where you are going to be able to create your classes. Some districts already have these classes created, so I'm not sure if your district does or not, but you'll be able to, if you have like grade level teams or maybe content area teams that you wanted all to have access to within a folder, you're going to be able to create those groups to share your designs with. And you are also going to be able to create folders. And you'll be able to add subfolders to those folders. And so you really will be able to create a nice and organized workflow. I showed you before that you can share links and view, edit, template, or even comment. And then you are also able to publish your designs. So something I didn't share with you, you can create websites in Canva. So if you type website in your search, you're going to be able to find a website. But not only that, within the share menu, you're going to actually be able to publish that to the web. So it will actually make your website a published website. So pretty phenomenal. And you can present and record your presentations as well. So you have lots of options there. I showed you when you were collaborating how to use that comment within your designs to be able to give immediate feedback to your students. And then in presentations, you're going to find these magic keys. So if I wanted to blur my screen for a moment, I can click B on my keyboard, it's going to blur. If I want to throw confetti, I can throw confetti. If I want to hush the class so that everyone is quiet, I can click Q for quiet. I can do a curtain call. If I want to be dramatic with the entrance of my presentation, I can do a mic drop. And then I have these nifty little timers. So any number that I punch on my keyboard, I'm going to get a timer for that specific amount of time. If you click when you're in a presentation, Shift plus the question mark, your magic shortcut menu will show up so that you can recall what those different shortcuts are within a presentation. I talked about uploading and converting PDFs, which is really handy so you don't have to start from scratch with some designs you've already created in other platforms. The background remover I showed you and how you can remove that background from a photo that you have. Video editor, again, is going to allow you to trim, crop, split videos. You're going to be able to add music. This track down here on the bottom, you can layer multiple tracks. So it doesn't have to be just one. And there is no limit to the length of video that you create. So, you know, some platforms might limit you to 5 minutes or 10 minutes, but there is no limit within Canva for how long those videos can be. Sites, like I showed you, you're going to be able to publish those, which is very, very cool. And then you can add hyperlinks to any of your designs. So any text or image that you put in Canva, you are going to click the link on the top of your screen, and that's going to allow you to either link it to another design that you have in Canva, or it's going to allow you to link it to a website of choice. So we have just a few minutes left. And so because I wasn't able to see the chat, I want to make sure I leave some time for questions. We have lots of resources for you to be able to explore. There is a Facebook group on Facebook for teachers and a Canva teachers community. So you'll want to check that out. And then they just released these Canva design skills for students. It's a course that's also really good for teachers and staff using Canva. And so that is going to be accessible too. And I will show you where some of those things are located. If I am on my home page of Canva, when I click here on Learn, this is where I'm going to be able to find some of those different resources. I have all of my tutorials and things here. I also am going to be able to find features. So if you want to download the app, you're able to download the Canva app, which functions just like the actual website version. And then I also can search for templates here. And that is going to allow me to really isolate my search and find exactly what I want. You can even search by subject if you would like to search by different topics and categories. So lots of great ways to learn about all of the things that Canva has to offer. I'm going to go ahead and back out of my presentation so that I can make sure that I can answer your questions. Let me stop my sharing here. Does anyone have any questions for me about any of the features or any ideas for bringing Canva into your classroom? So Rosa, in order to use Canva, you should be able to access it from your district portal, I believe. And somebody please correct me if I'm wrong. But is that correct where you, I think it's your ClassLink portal where you can access the Canva button? Okay. So I believe it's ClassLink in your district, but there should be a portal where all of your digital tools live, and you should be able to access Canva from there. And I believe you're all rostered in. So I know we had one person say that they weren't able to get in, but it should be a pretty seamless connection. Emily says, I love the idea of having the students use Canva for the first week of school as introductions. Yeah, and I would highly recommend the first time you use this with students, do it for a real low stress activity that's just fun and just allow them to play a little bit. And it could even be you create a very, very basic design and just have them put in their favorite thing. So maybe it's just a blank slide and you ask them to put in a text box saying what their favorite thing is and then a picture of it, especially for your littles, for maybe your primary or intermediate students. For high school, middle school, you might be able to add a little bit more, but keep it real simple.
How does this connect to the LMS?
So for Schoology, I'm going to, so when you go in to Schoology, you're going to be connecting from Schoology, not vice versa.
Okay, okay.
That's a really good question. And I am going to be forwarding on some, a one-pager of resources, and I'll make sure that I include the resources for Schoology there as well.
Okay, thank you.
He has their, just so you know, muted, so we're hearing your background noise. So you might just want to check your mute. All right, does anyone have any other questions? I want to make sure that does this seem like something that you will be able to use in your classroom or in your role in the district?
Yes, definitely. As a coach here at the secondary level, I think I would like to show them the possibilities of this as a strategy in the class. And of course, they would need to take some training. I don't feel comfortable that I'd be able to train them per se, but at least give them a taste of what they could do. Maybe even like the first, we have our new teacher orientation. Maybe I present myself and have them do what you just did here as an intro activity.
Yeah, that's a great idea. I love it. I have been in a lot of classrooms in the last couple of weeks in our district, just working with students, and they just adapt so easily, because I think the way that Canva is set up, it's a tool that kind of is similar to a lot of the other tools that they use and like on their phones and things. And so I gave them a quick little tutorial of how to use it. And then I just let them play, and it was amazing how fast they picked up the features. But I think that having just a real simple activity like what we just did today is a great way to start with students. Well, thank you everyone for being here. I really, really appreciate it. I'm going to be sharing the resources with Matt so he can make sure that you get those. And I will also have this presentation, the slides available, so you'll be able to access those too. So thank you so much for joining in, and have a great rest of your school year. We're getting close. Bye, everyone.